Okay, I realized I didn't cover the commodities. It's just been gold and silver the last couple of days. So very quickly, DXY. I'm looking at this resistance, this sloping descending line. So if we close above that on a daily basis, then 104, it's either 104 or 104.3. That's resistance. On the way down, we've got the breakout, should be support now. So 102.6. If we go a little lower, then it's either going to be, it's pretty much 102, let's say. I don't see us going lower today. So we have time to cover the support another day since it's Friday. So that's what I'm looking at, resistance and support for the DXY. Yields, just a quick recap already, something I covered in more detail on the gold and silver video. I'm looking for higher moves in yields. Unfortunately, well, actually, fortunately, I mean, let's be honest, inflation was obviously going to make a comeback. And this rate cut thing was a bit ridiculous. So, I mean, the amount of rate cuts the market was pricing in, I do think they're done raising rates. There could be a surprise one or two. I've always said that because inflation was bound to come back. But the idea that rates are going to go higher than where they've been, I don't know about that. But 1 year, breaking out this descending could go all the way up here, 4.95. The 2 year wants to go a little higher, probably 4.5. 5 years already looking like it wants to break out of its 4.1% resistance. The 10 year has done what the 5 year, I think, wants to do, which is break out of its horizontal resistance. And the 30 year is even more advanced, going towards 4.45. So they're going a little higher. Maybe that brings the DXY up, but does the DXY actually close above that sloping? We'll see. Commodities, copper, let's just come all the way back down. This one, I'm going to get rid of it now. It didn't really act as I thought it would. But yeah, this definitely has been support, before, and resistance. So this one's a bit obvious and it's holding. Let's just see if it continues to hold with the DXY and yields going up. The market's also just sort of drifting sideways to down a bit. Well, no, they had a nice bounce and markets look like they could actually move higher. So this is really, indicative of copper following yields and the dollar more than the markets. And to be honest, copper tends to follow the markets. But anyway, it's interesting. It's definitely following the dollar and yields rather than the market. So I think we're going to hold here, though. Even if the dollar and yields go up, we'll probably venture to the lows, but we'll probably close around support at worst. I don't see us flushing. This is looking like it wants to curl and go back up. So copper just holding its lows for now. Natural gas just doing what natural gas does, which is just screw everyone over and stop. Look at this crazy move down. It pops. It probably pops a bit too much. I think the resistance was correct. You can see how many times we tested it, but we never closed above it. For me, this was supposed to be light support, light resistance. Didn't really work, a little bit. Then we've come down to here. I mean, this is just over the top. Where do we go? Down to the lows, new lows. Technicals don't really work too well on natural gas. Anyway, lower might test the lows now, or not sure. But anyway, you can see what natural gas is. It's completely, undoing its little squeeze here. Oil, this is easier to read. So you can see it's coiled. I covered oil a few days ago now, the last time I covered it. And I said, this should be strong support. This anywhere in the 60s, really, because under 70, you can see it's just these three areas here. I remember it is squeezed up here. So mid, especially low, but mid 60s or higher. Anywhere in the 60s, below 70 should be strong. Look at this, higher lows, this is good stuff, nice and constructive, higher lows, which is coiling really the bias to the upside. And as soon as we close above this descending, I think we'll pop here. We'll probably close above there on the same day or the next day up there. So next week we should be pretty much testing 80 up here. Big round number, also the high from here. Then some sideways and then back up. And then we zoom out and we're going to be retesting for the fourth time of this descending, I reckon. And it close above that, we go back up to 95, 96, this range all the way up here. We'll see about that. But to me, bias to the upside, we're coiled and something will break. Uranium, absolutely, I want to stop covering it because it's just doing so well. And then the gold and silver are doing so badly. But I cannot have that attitude. Amazing stuff. Since here, bam, nice move, squeeze. Look at these hammers. It looks like it wants to go back up, test the highs. No gap fill. That's also quite impressive because for something that's gone up so much, if it's retracing, you'd expect at least a gap fill because it's done so well. But 30 was support, big round number. Yeah, no gap fill. Uranium miners, by the way, URNM, absolutely the same chart pattern. So very, very good stuff. Platinum and palladium, I tend to forget about those. Platinum's just come all the way back down. Little pop, kind of outperforming the gold and silver the last 2 days, you could say. Well, no, it's kind of matched it, hasn't it? I'd expect to pop back up to here, though. Yeah, because I mean, look, we made new, don't want to say new highs, but look, from here, we just took out this resistance, went all the way up here, and now we come all the way back down, pretty much a little lower. So you expect at least a bit of a pop to the midpoint prior resistance. So maybe we get to at least here. Let's see. This, by the way, is strong support. Look at this. So if it does go lower, this 850 zone should be really strong support. Palladium, another one, a bit like natural gas. I mean, this is impressive. I remember seeing and calling this breakout, the descending up it went, which is one of the reasons I bought SBSW, that stock, went all the way up and then all the way back down. Look how many days it's red. And then a little breakout of the descending. I thought it'd continue, but no, back down, new lows, incredible. And now this support is kind of resistance. So it's a bit of a weird one, actually, but I do still expect it to move back up. This is too much of a drop without a pop. Anyway, that'll do. I'm not going to cover gold and silver because I've already done a separate video for that. So let's see. It's Friday. It's Friday. Good luck.